Hey guys, we're going to try something new. Well, we've done it before, an extended discussion on one of our reviews. Here with me, I got Dell and I got OtherJoe. What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
So Bethesda has finally graced us with a reply after what feels like radio silence forever on pretty much acknowledging a little bit in their PR way the disaster that is Fallout 76. Of course, they don't consider it a disaster. I've got their press release here, November 27th. Huge thanks to all of you who have been playing Fallout 76.
I'm sorry.
Millions of you are playing the game and playing it a lot. Really sticking it to it, like, yeah, we made millions anyway, regardless of, the quality of the product at release. So we continue to read your feedback and watch your streams. Well, hopefully you watched my review, and hopefully you're watching this extended discussion, and you haven't blacklisted us.
And if you watched my streams,
yeah.
Sorry. Not sorry.
So here's the upcoming patches. We're eager to get improvements into Fallout 76 as soon as we can. Why wasn't it there from the beginning?
Exactly.
We have all these discussed extended discussion and questions that will go after we look through these patches together. So here, let's take a look at what's coming up over the next few weeks. December 4th. I just want to say none of this matters.
It doesn't matter.
I'm done with Fallout 76. Now, it's great for people that maybe are considering purchasing it in the future, which I probably wouldn't recommend you do until February.
Until it's like $20. It's down to 30 or something now.
Yeah,
right.
It's going down.
Till it goes free to play. That's another thing I wanted to discuss, free to play. But I'm saying it doesn't matter because guess what? Millions of players have already played the game, and they're pretty much done with it at this point because there is no end game. There's nothing to do, and yet again, something we need to discuss. But okay, so here are the fixes that are coming for the players who might purchase it in the future or return to it. They're December 4th, next week. They're going to increase the stash limit. Really?
Now you can get more glue.
Increasing it from 400 to 600, and that's good because, obviously the stash thing was so fucking annoying, over-encumbered all the time. Well, that is tied to what the server can handle because obviously the server needs to figure out, how many items you have, what they are, and take it from server to server. So that's fine. Boss loot. Players should correctly receive 2 or 3 items after taking down a boss, and that's something that we talked about a little bit in the review, getting randomly not getting legendaries, number one.
Yep.
Even though you're fighting legendary people. And then sometimes just getting like 1-star legendaries from fucking a really difficult boss battle. So they know, and they're fixing that.
Yeah, the rewards were so garbage.
Yeah, the rewards. It's really bad. Cryolator effects. Players hit with a cryolator are now chilled, frosted, frozen, depending on how many are hit, whatever.
Wow, that was a problem.
Respawning when over-encumbered. We've resolved an issue affecting players who die while over-encumbered that only allowed them to respawn at Vault 76.
Sometimes it didn't even let you respawn.
I didn't even run into that
90% of the time. Yeah, you had to just close the entire game.
And then stuck in power armor. We've addressed an issue in this patch where you could cause players to become stuck in power armor.
Yo, there's the patch that they didn't do 3 years ago.
But they're still not doing the patch.
They haven't done it yet.
Not it. That doesn't resolve that. I think that's actually a problem with the engine. And people say, "Oh, the engine's fine."
Yeah.
And dude, guys, work on that fucking engine. Seriously. Yeah. You don't need to throw it completely out. I'm not of that camp that thinks that you need to throw the engine completely out. It makes me worried as fuck. That Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 better look nothing
like Fallout.
Nothing like Fallout 76.
Yep.
That engine better be...
They're backtracking on that.
So much different. What do you mean backtracking?
Because Fallout 4 looked way better.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if I would say way better. I think that the color really helps out.
Yeah. It was. I would say this looks slightly better than Fallout 4.
Me too. It's just because Fallout 4 was so drab, and I'm glad there's color here. So that's all December 4th. Then December 11th, the next update, you'll have PC editions, push to talk setting. December 11th.
Multiple weeks.
We had to wait for
3 weeks to do this.
that it blows my mind that wasn't. It's like these people, when they get in their design meetings, they don't talk about anything and they're goofing off or doing something. I have everybody with thumbs up their asses because that should have been like the very first thing. Have you never played an online game, Bethesda? It seems like nobody in your office has. Now, granted, this is your first online game.
No.
Technically.
Tell all theirs.
Well, yeah, Bethesda Game Studios.
Yeah.
But you're right in that Elder Scrolls Online. So you should have learned some of these lessons, or ZeniMax.
Especially since ZeniMax, their publisher. Like, ZeniMax would have been like, hey, what?
Guys, you need to do these things because players, you know?
Is the FOV slider mentioned there?
Yeah, 21 by 9, and a field of view settings are all being implemented on PC with this update. If it was that easy, why wasn't it in the original?
You can do it through the any, like you said in your review, but like, were they really that lazy not to just put that in the freaking settings?
I read somewhere that because of the engine, it like fucks with trees and it like
they had it in Fallout 4.
Crooked. I know. That's what confuses me. So maybe that shit wasn't correct. But we got special respec after level 50. You'll finally be able to choose between a new perk card or moving a special point you had previously allocated. So they're letting you respec, but they're letting you respec like super slow. So it's basically you either choose a perk card or you choose to move a point, right?
Yeah.
Well, at least it's there. It should have been there from the beginning. Camp placement. This is something that Todd said you could build anywhere.
Like previous Fallouts, you can play this game solo in Quest. But the easiest way to survive in the Wasteland is to team up and build together. And in this one, you can build wherever you want. And you can also then move that to wherever you want.
And you can't build anywhere. It's like you're running around trying to put your fucking camp down, and you can't put it in cool-ass places.
Ironically, there's a lot of places that you shouldn't be able to put it, but you can, and then the places you should be able to, you can't.
It.
Yeah. Like, I just found, like, I mean, we didn't show in the review, but I found, like, a legendary boss spawn in one of the actual buildings you're not supposed to be able to build in. And I said, screw it. I dropped my camp there, put turrets up where it couldn't attack it, and every time I load into a server, it just dies.
And now they got something called Bulldozer. This is a new camp feature that allows you to remove small trees, rocks, and other obstructions so it's easier to place your camp. Great. Players are not going to bulldoze everything in the game.
That was in Fallout 4 too.
No, they won't. They won't bulldoze important things. They probably won't be able to actually bulldoze those elements. But that's good. That's going to all help the game. But this is in very, very minor ways. And that's December 4th, December 11th. So as you can see, in December, you're not really getting anything major. And you got to believe that because they're working on all these fixes, they're taking time away from their updates.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
new content.
Yeah, but I mean, like at this point, I don't even care about new content. I want to be able to play the game for 5 minutes without a game-breaking bug. Like, they're not even mentioning the "you do no damage" bug that 70% of the player base is encountering. You look at your review.
That completely breaks the game. Yeah. We've showed that off multiple times.
It happens. It happens with every gun randomly, and like you go look at the YouTube comments in the review, and there's people straight up saying, "I can't play the game for more than 5 minutes without this happening," and it's they're not talking about it, and I can't even play it anymore for hilarity's sake because I log in 11 seconds in, I got the bug last time I tried to play yesterday, and I was like, I'm done. Just Alt F4 and just didn't even look at it again.
Yeah, losing items, a lot of these different types of bugs, the power armor. And okay, so let's actually get into the extended discussion, spoilers discussion, where we weren't really able to jam some of this in the review. It was a 40-minute review, guys. I hope you enjoyed, but I had to cut some parts out. So first off, a lot of you said I was generous with my score of 3 out of 10. I'll be honest with you, I actually gave it a 2 out of 10. I can play a clip here, that I was showing stream that I recorded a 2 out of 10, but check this out.
The final verdict for Fallout 76 is a 2! A 2 out of 10! Maybe it could have pulled a 4 or a 3, but to release in this state, to lie to us this much, to charge everyone that much in microtransactions for this never again.
All right, so that was the original, but at the last minute, and that's why that final score section is kind of jiggered around. It's all messed up. And I gave it a 2. Or I gave it a 3 when I really feel that after watching my own damn review and after watching so many other issues from other players, a 2 would have been a statement, to Bethesda that this is like super unacceptable. But, over time, I mean, Dell did reach 140.
180.
180. You couldn't play the game that long. Well, number one, it's his job, so he has to. Yeah. But other than that, do you think it's a 2 out of 10 or you think it's a 3 out of 10?
I mean, nowadays, I can't even fucking play it anymore.
Yeah.
At least when I said, hey, I'm at a 3, it was because I could play for like an hour or 2 without my game completely breaking. But they did a patch, and they broke it even more. And it's like I can't do anything now, it feels like. The servers go down every like 5 minutes. I'm in a match. I can't do damage. My UI glitches out. My inventory breaks. It's just...
It's not playable.
It's not playable anymore.
I think, Joe, the reason why, because we gave it a 3, is because it's a time waster.
It's really good at wasting time.
It could waste your time when you're playing with friends. It's fun, but that's not even really that fun.
Ouch.
But no, the game, not playing with you. Obviously, see, that's probably what got me. Playing with Joe is always fun. Playing with Dell is always fun. Yeah. So that probably got a pity point from me. And it's the fact that it's Bethesda, and I am literally a Bethesda fanboy. Okay. But I'm starting to have my eyes open. If you guys watch Jim Sterling's video, he made this great point. It's like, the idea was that maybe we've had rose-colored glasses a little bit. And if you go back and you look at some of the other releases, this isn't anything like massively new.
No, that's
other than it being
broken.
This broken.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been broken in the past, but this is, to me, this is something new. This is unplayable. This is so boring. I don't want to play it.
People were so used to it, they even made that joke at their press conference, like, "Oh, the internet says our games are very buggy on launch." Right. Like, yeah, that's a problem. Why are you making fun of it?
It goes from cute to that. This shit ain't funny anymore. Like, do not reference that again without an apology. All right, this is not cute. Okay, so all right, so let's talk about. So in their press release, they said they got the list of fixes there. They say, 1 million players. Really?
Why do you gotta brag when you're trying to apologize? That's basically like, fuck you. Like,
that's basically like, look at all these people we conned. It's like we conned 1 million people. Let me tell you how many people we fooled.
Yeah, instead of just saying we're sorry for the issues with the game, they're like, yeah, but millions of people are playing it, and it's like,
that just seems super high to me.
Yeah.
It sucks that it's not on Steam anymore because it's on Bethesda's thing. So you can't tell how many people.
And
are playing.
I think I know why that is too, because they're not offering refunds, and if they had been on Steam, they would have had to abide to Steam's refund policy, and they don't want to.
So
do that.
there's this whole thing with a potential class action lawsuit. I'm not into those kinds of things. I think maybe a lawsuit is a little too excessive.
Extreme.
It's a little too extreme. There, for certain games, maybe like when they come out completely broken, I was able to play this one. But I hear from some people they weren't even able to play. So I don't know.
And
lawsuit. No,
the lawsuit just revolves around how, hey, we were giving refunds, and then they stripped that away, and so it's deceptive business practice, which is, hey, these people are legally entitled to a refund still.
Well, when you tell somebody, we're going to give you a refund, and then later on, they're like, we're not giving you a refund, it's like, no, fuck you. Yeah. And so that's why they're doing something. They're like, all right, well, if you're going to do that to us, we're going to find something
pretty much all you can do, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I understand that. But, yeah, so players, like what I said here, is players are done with Fallout 76.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mostly. I mean, they'll likely only get back about 25% of their users after they fix all this stuff.
I mean, they're not addressing from those patch notes the fourth, which is like they need to get big stuff fixed. They're not addressing the fact that the final boss scales with player level and is unkillable if you don't cheese the game. Mm-hmm. They're not addressing like any sort of the major game breaking issues like the damage bug, like we said, or the server crashes, stability, anything. They're not fixing what they need to, and it's like, yeah, things like an FOV slider and push-to-talk are cool, but it doesn't matter if I can't even log in.
And it doesn't matter if so many different game elements of the game are broken. We're going to go over those now. But to add on to my point, people have already played 30 hours, 40 hours, 80 hours, 120 hours. That's why it's so important to get your game done on release and get it right the first time, okay? Because they're done with it. I'm telling you, even if you fix it, very few players are coming back. But maybe for this, I don't want them to not fix it because this is something they owe all of us.
Yeah.
I spent $200 on this plus tax.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So you need to fucking fix that. But like you said, it's probably going to take forever. So anyways, something I had to pull out of my review is the frame rate on consoles. I really wanted to show you guys this clip from YouTube. And these guys do great work.
Battles show horrendous slowdown, even patched, with frame time spikes all over the place on the left graph. Pulling the trigger on any gun, and especially full automatics, will chew into frame rates until the clip's unloaded. So what that means is, the one moment you need that solid performance is taken away from you. Taking down enemies with grenades makes it plummet further on PS4, and it becomes too erratic to hold your target reticle on any enemy for much longer than a second. This was a problem in Fallout 4, but it can't go on like this for an online game where team play is a factor.
And as you can see here, on consoles now, this shit is even worse.
It's terrible. From
like
what
the
I saw.
fact that we have high-powered computers probably is why we gave it the 3, because we didn't run into any of this type of performance issues. If the shit was running 15 frames a second, as you see here, and I was playing that, this shit would have been a 2.
Yeah, the load times were crazy on some of the places in consoles too, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, just to go in and out of a building, and it was just, I can't imagine that.
So now, considering that, the consoles are a 2 out of 10, and the PC is probably a 3 out of 10. Is what I'm thinking. But, all right, let's go over all the fundamental negatives of the game, okay? And I want to talk about, let's start with PvP first. It blows my mind that this game, it's okay, so did they get the co-op right? Yeah, but that ties into another point, AI, right? So you can't really get the co-op monster hunt together when you have shitty AI on everything.
It is honestly one of it's their brain dead AI they've had ever since like Fallout 3 and Skyrim, and they have not innovated at all with it. And you go, like you said, co-op is fun in some cases, but every monster is stupid as hell, and in a lot of the times they just sit there and let you shoot them.
Yep.
And so these big battles with like death claws and stuff, they just go and they just stand there and they growl at you and they die, and that's all they do.
Yeah, I had one stuck in the alleyway. I was just picking him off.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, this is fun.
There's like a tiny little trash can in front of him, or just like a piece of wood, and he just stands there. He doesn't understand how to get around it. That's the kind of AI you deal with. So that's what I was saying. I try to talk about PvP. They've got two sides, co-op and PvP, but even the co-op is fucked because of the AI. And now the PvP, it is completely shit. I mean, probably the only good aspect of the PvP is when you do the radio. What is that? That radio style arena at PvP. That kind of thing is a little bit better than this random, I'm going to shoot you a bunch of times to let you know I want to fight you.
Yep.
And then I'm at a disadvantage because I'm already using resources to start that fight.
Try to kill you, but you don't do any damage. Yeah.
You don't do any damage. Then they get the first shot on you, even though you want to start the fight. So there's no sneaking up on somebody.
There's no sneaking up on someone, even if you're wanted and you're not on the map anymore. Like, you're stealthing around. You've already flagged yourself. Even if you find, like, if you're level 200 and you find, like, a level 7, if you have the most powerful gun that ever existed, 10 million damage a shot, you're not going to damage them.
Yeah, we showed it. We showed you that on the exact clip, which is so funny that we also got a PvP damage bug at the same time of recording that.
The damage bug affects everything, including players, I guess.
Which is insane.
And that was only 4 minutes of being logged in. So,
yeah, I told him for that specific purpose, we need to get some footage, and it fucking broke. That's hilarious.
I shot 3 times, and it busted on the 3rd shot, and I was like...
So even if he does initiate combat with you, it's not fun. The combat in Fallout 76 is just, it's not good. Okay, you're running around, and you have these piece of shit weapons, unless you're, unless you played to a level 180, right? But you're fighting each other, and then you're healing, and you're fumbling through your inventory,
Just
and you're
doing
a
waste of resources.
It's
time.
a waste of resources and time, and why? Why? What is the end game once you kill the guy?
There's nothing, and the problem is the person who PvPs and starts it or like attacks a building or something, your bounty goes up so fast and you can't fucking kill the people who are coming to kill you.
Correct. So not only do you get nothing, I mean you get like resources, but you
get
don't
whatever
you
they
don't
have
see
on your
the cool
inventory.
shit. Yeah. You don't see the cool shit that they have and pull it off. Instead, what you get is a huge fucking bounty. You don't really get anything rewarding is what I mean. Yep. You get this huge bounty, so you get nothing but negative. And that's why in the game, nobody PvPs.
Nobody
fucking PvPs. No. And that's a
point.
When 50% of your game idea or 30%, whatever you want to quantify it as, is completely non-existent and broken, that's awful.
And what was messed up is we tried some of the PvP events where you're supposed to fight each other.
Right.
And there were times where it was so buggy, we were getting bounties for fighting in an area designed to PvP in.
Completely broken.
Absolutely busted. Like, absolutely
100%
terrible.
broken. This is 2 out of 10, guys. All right, but okay, so, and then not only that, but the respawn. So you kill this guy, and he respawns right next to you, and then starts to fight again.
Like 10, in some cases, like 10 feet away from you.
Because you are now bountied, and you are now able to be shot and killed, and it just goes over and over in this big loop until one of you is like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore, and you log out.
Who the fuck finds that fun?
Nobody.
Who?
Nobody.
Who thought that this is a great idea?
Yeah, they talk about the developers are like, you know what we should implement? No.
Exactly.
Nobody wanted PvP in Fallout. Like
I want PvP in Fallout. I think it would be a great idea. Let's talk about how they could have fucking done it right. You know?
I mean, way bigger map and actual factions you can form were like the only two ideas. Like
they have talked about faction-based PvP.
Oh, they talked about it.
It's talked about. It's not there. We can't bring it up.
Cool.
But what I think it would be better is if you start letting us see servers, right? Mm-hmm. And you give us some PvP servers where you go in, it's a hardcore fucking server. You go in there and somebody could kill you at any time. Now, yeah, it's a little unfair with the level 180s. Like, you're fucking ass.
If you get lucky and get a legendary like the one I got that does like 5,000 damage.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
It does not matter how good the other player is. And it's level 15. Like the gun I'm using, level 15 can use.
Right. But that exposes something in the game. Yeah. It would not be fun. It wouldn't be fun because you have these legendary dice rolls on your weapons that can kill somebody in one shot. It's literally, like you said, a nuke.
So if
Joe's level 37 and he has that gun and he shoots you and he's butt-ass naked, like his character likes to run around.
I could be drugged out of my mind in the best armor, have the perfect stats. That gun's going to one-tap me every single time, no matter what.
So they have this fundamental problem because they didn't design the game from the ground up with PvP in mind. To where, okay, if we have PvP servers, we need to balance some of these things. And now they have to go in and back and do all of that balancing if they want to do it right, which I don't think is ever going to happen.
No, it's not. No. At this point, if they balanced PvP, like if they went and started changing the core fundamentals of their game for PvP, it would completely break the PvP or PvE aspect. And I'd say about 95% of the players at this point don't even want to fight each other because the taste has been ruined and like soured.
That's why I'm saying there needs to be separate servers. You have your role-playing servers, you have your PvP servers, and then you just have your casual servers for people that just want to cooperatively beat up on a shitty AI. Yep. Right? So that's a fundamental broken piece of your game. The AI, the PvP, the end game. Talk to us a little bit about the end game, Del, since me and Joe didn't give a fuck enough to go to the end game.
So the entire end game is around the Scorched, those really generic enemies that apparently everybody turned into in 5 minutes.
So stupid that there's no raiders. At least raiders have personality. Yep. They talk to you. They taunt you. You can hear conversations of them talking to each other. It feels alive. Scorched?
Yeah.
They're fucking zombies!
So you got to launch a nuke. You got to nuke this thing called a Fisher. There's the Prime Fisher, which is where the Scorch Beast Queen, the thing that started all this is. And so the idea is you launch a nuke on her. She pops out. You fight her. You have 30 minutes to fight her. But the problem is, if you have anybody above like level 30 trigger her, her level scales based on the character that spawns her. And so she's supposed to have preset health. She has like 5 million health or something preset at level 50. If I run in and spawn her at level 95, she has hundreds of millions of HP. You saw that gun, the gun that was killing those Mirelurk queens in one shot.
Yeah.
It was moving her health a fraction of a percent. Yeah, and it was like, I'm hitting her for 5,000 damage every shot. My allies were unloading thousands of rounds in her. Her health is like 1 inch. Not even barely moving.
And that's why we said in the review it's a complete waste of time.
You can't do it unless
once you kill her, she drops. Yeah, she's gonna drop some 3-star legendaries
and some schematics for like the ultra sight stuff, but that stuff's not even worth it.
Yeah, exactly. You can find and you can get lucky, and you can get lucky and not fight her and get way better weapons. Is what we're saying. So your end game is completely fucked. You have the nukes that the codes are on fucking Reddit, Joe, pissing me off. You know, I'm over here searching for codes.
Did you waste your time?
Right. Joe's like, these codes. I already got the codes. What? And then you can drop. Everybody goes to alpha because it's the easiest, and then you drop the fucking nukes, but don't drop more than one at the same time.
No, you crash everything.
The problem is now that we know what the nukes do. We were willing to do the code thing before. Before we knew what they did, like we thought it would be way cooler than it was. But now that we know that it just spawns some glowing guys that kind of could drop loot, like if they went to the system,
it blows up some buildings if you built a fucking camp there.
But you could just rebuild your camp instantly. And if they went to the system where it was randomized every time, nobody would launch nukes anymore because that's like hours and hours of work for something that's not even worth 30 minutes of your time after it happens. So
the world events are all lame. Like feed people. No, I don't want to fucking feed people. I'll feed them nukes like we said in the review.
Drop nukes on them. I launched a nuke on that cannery.
But you see, this is the stuff that players want to do because players are shitty, right? So if there was a human settlement, guess where that nuke is going? Right on the human settlement. Hey, it was in Fallout 3, you remember?
Like, how cool would it have been if there was, like, actual NPC towns, and when you nuke them, like, you get the NPCs, they're named, but they're, like, horribly mutated and shit. And you could be like, I'm killing the vendor I didn't like because he's a zombie now, or something like that. But you don't even get that.
Nope.
Yeah.
So, just the idea of a multiplayer Fallout can be done right, and this game is nothing. It is nowhere near.
The quests were so boring. Like it didn't want me to pursue anything else. With these holotapes, I didn't like these holotapes.
Yeah, the
quest.
quest.
What the fuck? That's it. It's like no, I don't want to do it just because it's taped.
So quests are lame. What is the most fun quest, Del, that you ran into?
Can I have a few minutes to think about that? I don't know. Maybe it's the Brotherhood of Steel base, Line in the Sand. It was a world event where you're in like a fort and there's a missile launcher and the Skyrim dragons flying around and you're like defending and guarding the missile. That first time I did that, I was like, this is average.
This is average.
This is not. This
is
okay.
one that they should have put right at the beginning.
This is an okay quest.
Could you imagine that one right at the beginning, or at least maybe midway? Like you'd be like, okay,
but that's like the end of the game.
I know.
Yeah.
And if there were multiple ones of these, then you're on the right track. Instead, you got turn the water valve, and to make some, you could have that in the game, but those need to be filler and in between, and you need to make them unique. Okay, well, we don't want to tell people to just turn this water valve. We want to tell people turn the water valve, and then water actually starts to flow in that amusement park, and it's all radiated, and it does something, or it shows it to you, but it doesn't do any of that. It does jack shit.
You want to know something hilarious?
What?
So you know the Overseer quests? You know how she's like leaving tapes for you, but you never meet her? She's still alive. If you go into one of the silos and you read you grab the tape out of the box before you go in. She's like, I found a silo. This is cool. When you go in there and you come back out, she left another tape for you. That's like, how could you launch this nuke? And it's like, why didn't you just say that to my face? Like you were here 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, that happens from time to time in these holotapes where the holotape knows exactly when you do something. You remember that, Joe? We were like searching in an airport and we were doing a stupid patrol and we went to go do something and the tape was talking to us like, oh, good, you killed all those things. Like, wait a minute.
Like, what the fuck are you?
How did you see us do that? Yep. You knew which ones we killed. So it's just so stupid that there is no human NPCs, and that's the other thing. Human NPCs.
Yep.
Why did they not include it? Because there are actually NPCs in this game.
There are, but they're not humans.
Yeah, there's the super mutant with his cow.
Yep.
I forget what his name is.
I don't remember his name.
So funny. Anyways.
Bessie the Moo Moo. Or Chally the Moo Moo. Chally the Moo Moo.
See, like that is the kind of, if we had way more interesting guys like that, and he's funny and he's awesome, but you have one.
You've got one,
And that proves that they can have NPCs, right? So, you know, at first I thought maybe if you have NPCs, it breaks the game, or Bethesda simply didn't know how to do it, because if you have human and then you kill the human, then your quest line is fucked. But guys, do you really need me to explain it to you? This was figured out in like 1999, 8, where you in MMOs, you let people kill them, but they just get knocked out. And then they get back up after 30 seconds. Or they respawn
in like 5 minutes or something.
Exactly. You give that person the satisfaction of killing him, and then if you want some penalties there, then put a fucking huge bounty on him and make him red immediately, so everybody in the world can sneak up on him and kill him for killing an NPC, even though that NPC gets back up after being knocked out. Like in Skyrim, their own fucking game.
They already did it.
They have the solution.
They didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do it.
And I don't know, like you said, I don't know if it was Todd that thought that players were going to want to be role players, but you didn't even put systems in the game to incentivize them to act like that, to be NPCs. So why would they ever?
Right. There's no real like economy where, you know, I saw this video on one guy was talking about like you can make all the best prime rib steaks in the game and everybody's going to come to you for the best prime rib steaks. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, they're not.
But as you progress in power, you can decide like I'm going to focus on cooking, and then you might want to vent. You can sell these things to other people in the game. So you're like, I make the best ribeye steak in the game. It'll overfill you and give you a health bonus, and here you go, 40 caps. You know.
Never. I can farm them myself in 5 minutes. What are you on about?
Yeah, so I have no idea what they were going with this game. Sometimes you think it's a survival. Sometimes you think it's just a co-op Fallout. And sometimes you think it's an MMO. That's the big problem is that the design team are making 3 different games, and none of them were very good. And all of the design decisions behind the game were wrong.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Wrong! Bring that name back.
Please. Superman will never.
Wrong! All right, guys. I'm tired of making fun of this fucking game. But I'm going to continue. VATS.
I'm tired, but let's go on.
I'm so tired, but there's so much shit in this game. That sucks, Joe.
And I know that in between, like a lot of these things we talk about, he's going to show all the extra clips that we had.
I'm trying to.
There was like 50 extra Twitch clips we got from just stupid bugs, and they were fantastic.
What?
Okay, so fuck VATS. Let's not even talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that you can capture bases and sell the shit. Delta, tell me what's happening here.
So I found out that even if somebody puts down a ton of turrets, the workbench that you capture to get the place to build anyway in the first place, if you just walk up to it and capture it back, their turrets don't even shoot you. And then when you capture it, you could just sell all their shit.
And I was like, no fucking way. And is there a negative to that person that built all those turrets? Did he waste all
those resources they spent goes away? You don't get a bounty or anything. Nothing happens to you. You're just like free money.
Do you see? Do you see? This was not planned out.
No.
I need an explanation for this, because I really do, because this worries the fuck out of me. I think I have one. Okay? I'm about to blow y'all's minds.
Okay.
How did this happen? Todd, number one, Todd lying to us.
Yeah.
Okay, Todd, or what would you call it? Some people, you know, are like, they'll kill me if I say anything bad about Todd. He was hyping his game up to an insane level that it started to become disingenuous, just like the No Man's Sky situation.
And not even no shitting. Like, there were straight up lies in the press conference about things that weren't even in the game.
Yeah, and in interviews.
Yeah.
But okay, but I could show you clips of those, but instead I'm going to tell you that, you know, he said like all of these studios.
Fallout 76 is by far the largest project that we've ever done. It encompasses parts of the studio in Maryland, Austin, Montreal for Bethesda Game Studios, as well as we're getting a lot of help from other parts of Bethesda. Some of the great folks at id Software, Arcane, ZeniMax Online, and so it really is a huge undertaking, not just for us, but all parts of Bethesda.
Listen, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studios that worked on this. I really think that this was only worked on. Yeah, those studios did contribute. Probably like the old assets. Hey, do you have that fucking trash can skin? Yep. That texture? Yeah, well, you mean from 10 years ago?
Send over those floppy disks.
Floppy disks.
You got Morrowind on floppy.
And they're putting that. That's kind of how the other studios help. So don't fucking throw ID under the bus and shit. They're all making Doom. They're like, wait, what? We didn't do that.
What?
You just asked if you could borrow a pen. Why did we get credited?
That's probably what happened. Anyways, so I think what happened, and it breaks my heart because I live in Austin. I love Austin. I love Austin studios. But I think this game was developed primarily by the Austin studio that got their game got shut down and shuttered. This was Bethesda. They rolled it into Bethesda Game Studios, and they've not put out a game yet. No. Okay, this feels like a first attempt. This feels like the talent is not quite at the level of their other AAA studios who have delivered games. I'm not saying you're talentless. I'm just saying you're new at this, and what that feels like. Yeah. It was a game called Battle Cry. Yeah, does anybody remember this?
No,
I don't.
You don't remember? No. I was walking around in E3 and some of the PAXs, they had big booths for this game. It's a Bethesda game that never came out that was being worked on by the Austin studio, Battle Cry or something like that. And it was basically a copy again. It was a copy of Overwatch. They wanted to get into the hero arena shooter. Yep. Apparently it wasn't good enough, or they didn't think it would do well.
But this is... It's not good enough.
So they switched.
There's millions of people playing, all right?
Oh, that's right. They had to brag. They humble
brag. No, I think they got that decision right. I don't think it would have done well because you remember that other game that we liked from Gearbox?
Battleborn. Was it Battleborn?
Why is everything Battle? It's so
I think it was actually Battleborn, yeah.
Yeah, and we liked it, but it didn't do as well as Overwatch. It got shuttered and shut down.
They released it 2 weeks before Overwatch, which was like...
Yeah, you can't compete with Blizzard.
Yeah.
But I think that was the right decision for them to shut that down, right? It might have been cool for a while.
Yep.
It probably would have been better than Fallout 76. And that's a lot of work from those guys. And my heart goes out to them because those are original characters that probably could have been cool, could have had some fans. Instead, it gets shut down, and they probably got moved to this. They're like, all right, now you're going to work on the Fallout 4 engine, and you're going to pump out a game, and I need it in a year. What?
They did a
we don't know how to fucking do that. Yeah, are you serious?
They did a documentary. You remember that huge 1 hour
clip
long
documentary?
Yeah, they did a documentary. We were talking about. We were working on this for years.
An idea 4 years ago. Yeah, well, everybody had the idea 8 years ago. Everybody had the idea in Fallout 1 when you were playing that shit. This would kind of be cool if I could play with friends. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. So don't give me that shit, right? But what I'm saying is, so that studio took the brunt of it. Yeah. And it was just completely unfair to the guys in Austin to take the brunt of that and push this thing out as fast as possible without the experience, the knowledge. And that's why so many studios had to help. That's why I had to list all those people, because they didn't have the expertise. And they're being fucking pivoted so quick. Yep. And then they rolled in another studio, Escalation Studios, which they bought up and got rolled into Bethesda Game Studios as well back in 2007. And they're mobile games. Yeah. Okay? And so you get a little bit of that influence, maybe the perk cards and the microtransactions or whatever. And then you've got this game. So I think that's what happened is their B team, or not even their B team, their C team worked on this game. Yeah. But yet the disconnect here is that Todd presented this as a AAA game from the best of the best. Yep. This was a tentpole release, and it comes out and it's utter garbage.
It's garbage.
It's shit.
A lot of people just felt betrayed as hell because he was promoting and flaunting this game everywhere and talking it up and saying things that were going to be in the game that weren't in the game. And, I saw people defending him like, oh, maybe he didn't know the extent of how bad it was. No, he had to have. In his position, he knew, and he was okay with it. Like
I like Todd, and I met Todd, and I talked with Todd several times. I was just like, hey, man, I forget what I said to him, but I was like, I was like, dude, I really love your games, and I think you're a fantastic producer. I just gave him so much praise, and he was really nice and smiling, and he was like, what? And I was like, I'm a little nervous, and he's like, you don't have to be nervous. I was like, yeah, I never get nervous, and it's because, like, he's made my favorite game series of all time, Elder Scrolls. Like, I love those games to death, and AngryJoe got nervous around him, and I felt embarrassed, and he's like, no, man, it's cool. And then the very next game that comes out, and I believed him. I believed in Todd.
Yeah. Of course.
All the things that he said. Because
you saw that spark on his eye.
And because he was me, this guy, he's, this nerd in high school. He talks about the Dallas Cowboys show. And he's like, well, I didn't want to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. I'm going to make video games for a living. And they all made fun of him and stuff. And he's doing it. And that's my dream. I want to make board games for a living. And so I just love that success story of Todd. And he's won awards. And he deserves those awards. And I hate to see Todd get shit on so much, but honestly, when you make something amazing, you get the praise, and AngryJoe gets nervous around you. You make something shit, and AngryJoe's gonna fucking yell at you. You know what I mean? This is deserved. I'm serious. It's deserved.
No, it's 100% deserved, and I think, the fact that they're not just owning up to it, the fact that they haven't done like hey, we came from humble roots, this is what we do for a passion, we made a mistake.
Or at least be honest with people. Yes, this was our Austin studio with our mobile studio, and we're learning. This is the first time we're doing a multiplayer experience in this way with these people, and we're learning a lot from it. And then maybe drop some little hints that in our future games we could start putting in multiplayer because we've learned so much, and make this sort of a okay, they learned from it. And now our future games are going to be better.
And instead, they drop this like bullshit PR apology where they don't even really apologize.
No, it's not. That's not an apology. Thank you for playing. Millions of you have played. We can't wait to fix the game.
Yeah, no, like it feels so not human. Like a corporate entity is just like, we're sorry.
That's something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I also really, really like Pete Hines. I've met him several times. Conversations have always been good. Actually, when I first started, I don't think Pete liked me very much because my interview style, I'm real aggressive, and I was asking him hard questions, and he wouldn't.
They're like, don't ask this question, and then 5 seconds later, anyway.
Yeah, and we had this relationship where he'd give me a look, and I'd give him a look, but yet we'd do it anyway because, at least I had the audience. And Bethesda, I'm going to be honest with you, for a time, Bethesda was the most friendly to YouTubers I've seen. One of the companies as good as Ubisoft, friendly and open, and they know and they talk. But lately, I have to say this, they've become a lot more corporate. I feel like Bethesda's losing their way. Are they smelling their own farts at this point?
Especially with this coming out,
And they're getting so involved, and then they got the whiff of that mobile microtransactions from Fallout Shelter. That's why Blades is coming, because they were like, okay, we need to do this with every single one of our franchises. It works so well with Fallout, and Fallout Shelter, frankly, is a good mobile game.
Okay, mobile game,
and I'm not gonna shit all over Fallout Shelter because guess what? The game is free. And you can put as much money as you want into it. I don't recommend you go crazy because, that helps ruin our other games.
Yeah.
That's the danger. And now we're going to get Blades, and I think Blades is going to be one of the best mobile games, but I'm really worried about those microtransactions in there. It better be free. Anyways, so you have all that kind of stuff, and I'm worried that Bethesda is becoming too corporate, and they're losing their way, and they're turning into a little mini EA, a little mini Activision, and I just want to tell them, guys, stop it. Please. Remember what got you here, because as quick and I don't know if it was quick, but your rise to such great community standing and people who love and adore your games, it can be destroyed. You are ruining your reputation. I think the community is taking a huge hit right now.
I don't think you can, unless Elder Scrolls 6 is like the best game we've ever played, and so the thing is because you guys have gone and released such a crappy game, you've basically made your job 50 times harder with the Elder Scrolls 6 because now you're going to be under that microscope.
You're under the microscope.
You're like, so if your game comes out and it is buggy, if there are game-breaking bugs and buff, every other game you've ever released, because your story was good, you got to look past it. People were like, I'll look past the fact that my save gets corrupted, that I have all these quest issues. It's a good game. It's Bethesda. But now that you've released Fallout, you can bet your ass that everybody is going to go over your game with a fine-tooth comb and pick out every single problem.
But guess what? Guess what? I don't care about the bugs still. If there's I care about game-breaking bugs.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'll even forgive some of those if you can find fixes around it. What I care about is your game design tent poles, the major decisions that were made in Fallout 76 that were all wrong. I want PvP to work. I want PvE to work. I want the AI to work. I want quests to be good. I want there to be a story that actually you can listen to. I want there to be interface improvements. These kinds of things are what's important to me. Yes, you are going to get raked over coals just because it's funny and it's YouTube content that a lot of channels are going to do anyway, even if maybe you don't deserve some of it. It's coming. Just because of what you did here with Fallout 76.
You set yourselves up for that, and like you've honestly, they have removed a lot of their buffer they had that people were willing to tolerate because now you're
their goodwill from the community.
Yeah.
It's destroyed
it's
right
gone.
now. You've really hurt your standing with your community.
And I think your apology just made it worse. Like honestly, like,
non-apology. That basically shows us that this was a cash cow.
Yep.
This was literally, we don't have a major tentpole. Let's pivot, cancel battle cry. We need something. Fallout. Everybody loves Fallout. We can make money no matter what on Fallout, no matter if we put it out. Todd, it's not ready, man. We need another year. I'm sorry. I just don't have the talent right now, and it's taking us a little longer. I'm sorry. Can we just get another year? No. You're putting this out now. And that may not even be Todd's fault. It
gotta make
people
those
above
numbers.
Todd.
It's marketing.
Who the fuck is the president over there? Because I've never heard of him or met them. I've only seen Pete Hines, who's VP. Where the fuck is the president?
It honestly,
the shadowy. It's a fucking assaultron. It's the Huntmaster from Fallout.
It's pretty much just. It feels like they had to make a quota on numbers and sales at the end of the year, and I mean they could have taken a.
Why did Bethesda do this? Is my question.
It's money. It has to be money and
numbers.
They
already took my money like 7 times. I bought like Skyrim on every fucking console and everything. It's hey, another one's coming out.
That's
come on.
That's another thing that contributes to Bethesda's corporate entity.
We should talk about that too.
So the question is, why did Bethesda put this out? No tentpole releases this year. Was it for their shareholders? It's a publicly traded company? I don't think so.
I don't know off the top of my head.
To keep them afloat, that's why they put this one out, right? To fund future games, or to make a quick buck.
I think it was
all of those.
I think it was all of those. And I mean, like, you know, by us saying they haven't released a major game, like, we're not talking the sister subsidiary studios under them, like Arcane and id and stuff. Yes, they've released games, but Bethesda themselves hasn't really.
I meant for this year.
For this
came out this year? Fallout 76.
Fallout 76, and I don't remember.
Was to be their big
else.
game, is what I mean. All right, it bugs me. All right, guys, do you think will it go free to play, Joe?
No, it won't.
You don't think this will go free to play?
It's gonna go price drop, but they won't do it.
They won't do it.
They won't budge on that. I know for a fact.
What do you think?
I think they will, just because like every other game that I've seen has realized that you sell your game for $60, you wait about 6 or 7 months to when nobody's playing it, and then you release it for free, and you add more microtransactions, and you double your money. Mm-hmm. That's even World of Warcraft.
Joe, I wouldn't put it past them at this point, just because of all the steps that they've gone.
They've lost so many people too, so I don't know, but.
Because at that point,
I say they're going to do it within a year.
If they fix everything in February, 25% of the people come back, and then they're like, we have to monetize those people because we didn't get all of the people back. They've got to do it in some way. You're going to get more microtransactions.
You're going to go free to play.
It's going to be $20 or free to play. Guys, in the comments, tell me, do you think this thing's going to be free to play? Now, here's the worst thing, okay? Do you think they're going to monetize the perk card system? It feels like gambling.
Probably. I mean,
Why did they create the perk system?
Why is it a PAX?
I have a theory, and it's a conspiracy theory, but it's coming from the place of betrayal. Why'd you betray me? Now everything that you've done has been put into question, including the perk system. I think they put it there. And they put no microtransactions, and they give you them at intervals to see what happens. And guess what happened? every single review on YouTube that I've seen, even including ours, but I softened it, is, oh, I love this new perk system. What's one good thing? Oh, the perk system. Yeah, the perk system's great. I didn't say it's better. I said it was interesting.
Yeah, it's not better.
But everybody's saying, oh, it's better. It's great inventory. And so they've gotten all that positive feedback now. And I think that was the little planting the little seed. And like Halo in the Halo franchise, it's going to pop up in a future game. How about this? If they do that skill system, that perk system in Starfield or in Elder Scrolls 6, and it's monetized, or you can buy packs, what would you guys do?
I would flip out.
You'd flip the fuck out?
Yeah.
Probably laugh and be like, I told you so.
Would you buy the game or boycott the game?
I gotta buy the game no matter what. But if I wasn't,
God damn it!
no, I work for you.
Well, we have to do it.
But if I didn't,
right?
Probably not.
I probably wouldn't fucking buy the game until it's free because that shit is fucking. Yeah. If I was
it's
if we didn't have the job for it, that's predatory. That's gambling bullshit. And if you want to do that, fine, make the game free.
I mean, the perk packs already, like when you get 5 levels and you get that booster pack in Fallout 76, it's all flashy. You can get duplicates repeatedly, and
this
they even have
system
like rares.
Seems like it was
a gotcha
developed.
Box. Yeah,
it seems like it was originally developed as a free-to-play game with this as the main system to get money. And they probably saw, if this really was in development for 4 years, which I highly doubt, but let's say it is. Let's believe them. They saw what happened to EA, Battlefront 2, tied directly to progression, and they're like, fuck, we cannot have that because our stocks will take a hit. So I almost kind of think, in a conspiracy theory way, that this system was being developed, or at least it was discussed in design meetings. Should we monetize this? Can we monetize this? And now I'm scared in the future that because it receives so much positive feedback that they might be able to take that extra step. I'm telling you right now, Bethesda, no!
The newspaper.
You think this is bad? I need a rolled up newspaper.
Stop it.
Bad.
I need the rolled up newspaper. But anyways. Don't do it. You think this is bad with Fallout 76?
This is nothing.
Do not fuck with the Elder Scrolls.
Do not fuck with progression and microtransactions, or you will go the way of EA. Not only will you have destroyed the goodwill with the community, but you'll have a revolt, a straight up revolt.
You will lose me as a fan. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, you'll lose me. No,
you lose OJ.
I will become your opponent instead of your supporter. Okay. Anyways, so please don't do that with the perk system, and I think it's prime and set up for that. Anyways, so
you know what I want to talk about? It didn't make it into the review, but I sent you a screenshot of I had a bug where I lost 4,000 caps from something that just didn't work, and it cost 4,000. And so when I sent a ticket in, and the first thing was when you design an MMO or multiplayer game, you design tools to let your CSRs and your customer support help people who are having problems with your game. Yeah. When I sent a ticket in, and you'll probably throw up a picture of the response email I got, they basically just said, we don't got those tools. We can't fix quests. We can't reset characters. We can't give you items. We can't do anything. And they admitted this, and it's like, it's
probably a third party call center. I used to work in a call center long ago, and all you have is a knowledge base, right? And you click on things. That's probably all they have.
But every other
that employee's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. The shop sucks.
Did you try?
But every other MMO, every other online game that's online only, like this game, if an item breaks or your character just does not work, their game masters can fix it. And they even said, we can't escalate it. We just can't touch your character.
Some of the responses from Bethesda, they need to look into how they deal with customers because somebody sent me a screenshot of somebody saying, hey, I ordered the $200 collector edition, and it said that there would be a premium duffel bag, or they said that what material it would be, or they showed a material in the marketing materials, and it turned out to be a piece of shit nylon duffel bag, and somebody sent in a support ticket. Hey, can I get a refund, or can I get a compensation or something like that because you're showing something and it wasn't that? And the response was so flippant that I was like, no, the internet had to change those words around. But because that's how bad the response was. It was something like, oh, yeah, we know it was too expensive to do the other thing. And, we don't ever plan to do anything about it. Bye. They didn't say it exactly like that, but I swear to God, if you read the actual things, it's like this has to be somebody's last day, or the internet fucking changed it. But that doesn't change the fact that the fucking thing is a piece of shit.
They can't fix problems in their own game, which to me is hilarious because if I went through their ticket system on their website and it's like account problems, character problems, item restoration. We can't restore items was the response I got. And it's like, why is that an option then? Like, what's going on? And it's just, they didn't even have the forethought to be like, oh, we should probably have the ability to fix these bugs we're aware of for players before the game came out.
You copied and pasted the Fallout universe onto a survival game. You're so late to the survival genre, it failed because all the game systems in there aren't built for the game. They're built for Fallout 4, and they're poor choices. A Fallout MMO, I think, could work. I think you could actually do a real Fallout multiplayer game, and it might work. If everything was created from the ground up, it could be something special. But other than that, no. It doesn't work. So let's end the video by talking about the future of Fallout 76, the future content. They're talking about faction-based PvP. Will you come back for that? No?
No.
Will you do world events if they put...
No.
There's already world events in there that are awful.
There's nothing you can do to fix...
Here's one thing that I think they've been telling us the whole time. It's been in front of our face. I'm going to reveal it for you guys. They're doing human NPCs. They're going to put in human NPCs to try to get people back. I think it's their one ace in the ace that they could try to get people back. Would you guys believe me?
No.
Okay, here's why I think so. Because they've said multiple times now that other vaults will be opening. They keep referencing the fact that other vaults are going to open. That to me, guys, realize that confirms human NPCs, doesn't it?
No, I think they're just going to do what they did with the other vaults in the other games where they're
all dead in there?
Yeah, they're going to have like quest lines. You're going to go in there and you're going to have to listen to
God damn it, Dad, you ruined my theory.
You know I'm right.
There's going to be robots in the fucking
You know I'm right though. Like they're going to be DLCs and they're going to be like missions for specific vaults, but you're going to get in there.
If that happens, I'm fucking
everyone's going to be
done.
dead and you're going to hit a button on a recorder
I'm already done, but I'm done.
The drums are sounding in the deep, and it'll be like, damn it, computer.
Oh, my God. All right. Human NPCs, yes or no, Del?
No.
Human NPCs, yes or no?
Ghouls, maybe. Not actual people.
I think these two are wrong. In order to save their game, they have to put in the #1 request
I
from
honestly
people.
just think they're going to try to do the patches and just try to do the bare minimum.
I think the game just needs to work before any
bare
of that.
minimum. And then they had planned, I think somebody data mined like 6 DLCs. They're all free because nobody would pay for that shit in the first place.
Yeah.
At this point, you can't fix it. Like, you can fix the technical problems, but the game, every single part of the game is busted or awful, and
this is a shock to us.
You can't fix it. You just can't.
I'm so disappointed in you, Bethesda. $18 for fucking blue for blue. Are you serious? What is this, Evolve? Do you remember Evolve? We had $5 for a weapon skin, and Evolve was more generous.
It was
than
blue.
Fucking Bethesda.
It was blue,
and it was fucking blue. But they didn't even make like unique looking power armors or something different. Like even in their live action trailer, there's a guy that looks like he's got an Aliens Colonial Marines type. That's not in the fucking game. At least I haven't fucking seen it.
Not that I've seen.
And that's the kind of stuff that maybe you could charge $18 for if you fucking put some alien stuff on it. But that would be fucking IP theft. Anyways, guys, that's it. Fallout 76, it's done. They're going to be bogged down by fixing all the bugs and the fundamental broken game designs for the next 2-3 months, and then they'll start to put out the DLCs, but by then they'll only have 20% of their player base.
Yeah.
Let's be real. If they go at Bethesda's patching pace, it'll be 2-3 years.
Or never.
Or never. They'll just be like, the community will fix it.
I'm going to laugh so hard if there's a Wendigo man in Starfield or
oh my God.
Elder Scrolls 6.
I've become Wendigo man.
That was super funny.
But no, yeah, they just, maybe the community will fix it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know how this video will do. I don't care if it gets 100 views. This was therapeutic for us.
Yeah.
And we got to give you a little insight into the review. It was a 2 out of 10 until I cut it last minute, and honestly, it deserves a 2 out of 10. It could eventually become a 3 out of 10. How high do you think the game will get if they fix
everything?
Everything.
Like everything.
Everything.
Like all the bugs. Are we talking if the game was good?
Never mind. That's
like,
pointless to speculate. That's pointless to speculate. All right.
If it wasn't this game, what could it get? I don't know.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, let us know. We can do this in the future for future games.
Yeah, let me know if you guys want to buy Fallout 76. I'm selling it. I'm done playing it.
I have.
So I'll sell you my copy for $15.
No, I have an
$15
Xbox
right now.
No, $10.
Free.
$10
Take
from
it. It's taking up space in my computer.
And I have the Xbox One version, and I don't open and haven't used. There's no disc, by the way. It's a piece of paper. You can have it.
It's cardboard, isn't it? Yeah.
And I want to probably get rid of my helmet, and this is just so sad. I want to cry now. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go cry in the corner. Thanks a lot, Bethesda. I'm never going to forget this. Have a good day. Bye, guys. See you on the next AngryJoe show.
See you guys.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, show your support for our channel, and hit the bell notification or whatever. Or grab some of these shirts that these fools are wearing.
Yeah,
and
they're fancy.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.